As you walk through the valley of the shadow of hell, you will realize that there is something ahead. Something that lurks behind the dark veil. A veil that is beyond our own comprehension. Beyond the void.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void
Horror Podcast.
He was so serious.
Yeah, he was pretty serious.
What's up, guys? So we're back. We got some new voices in the studio that you may or may not know. One of them is Patrick, who has been here before.
Hi, Patrick.
But we also have one of our friends from across the pond.
Yeah.
Our friend David, a.k.a. Warble. From our Xbox friends. Like, we made friends on Xbox years ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, Patrick made friends with him, and then I became friends, too.
Right. Yeah. How long have we known each other? Like 10...
10 years.
A little bit over 10 years.
It's a long time.
You had a little break for 2 years.
Yeah, a little bit of break because
That's longer than me and D are friends.
Yeah, well, what happened was that I had a modded Xbox, and then I got bricked. So I was offline for like a year and a half. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't mean you weren't friends in that time.
We were still friends. We just didn't talk.
Yeah, well, that doesn't. You don't need to be. But yeah, welcome to the podcast, David. What do you want to be called?
Nice to be here.
I want to call you Warble just because I'm used to it, like hearing your voice. But
Oh, I still call him Warble around the house.
Do
yeah.
you?
Oh, yeah.
what do you want? What do you want, David?
Oh, let's go with that then. Go on.
We'll go with Warble.
We'll go
Okay.
Warble.
And then, of course, Patrick's here. Of course, he's back to come visit us again. Brittany is going to be out this week because her mom's in town again. So she's visiting her.
Right.
So she won't be back until we come back like the first week of November. Like, we're going to record the first week of November, but we won't be back until like the second
You're taking
week.
a little bit of a hiatus or something, though, right? 'Cause you're
Yeah,
going to
well, I need a
Vegas.
break, dude.
Yeah.
Like, bad. Like, for one, I'm going to fucking Vegas to go see John Carpenter, not Carpenter Brute. And I'm going to see Perturbator or Perturbator, excuse me. And also, I'm going to be...
Is that how it's pronounced?
It's Perturbator. Would you stop doing the British thing?
Is that? I'm sorry. I'm like infected. Ever since David started to stay with me, I hear it 24 hours.
Every
and it's
time
like,
I've seen, like, Patrick will be like, "Is that how you do it?"
People aren't going to know who's speaking, me or him, are they?
Right.
No, who is that? Which one's that? Which one is that?
Well, you're from Australia, right?
Well, yeah, obviously.
No, Warble, where are you from?
England.
What part? Northern?
Up north to the west.
Okay.
was that Lancashire?
Sorry,
What's your address?
It's up and then to the left.
So he's about an hour and a half of Manchester. No. Yeah, about 3 hours
An hour
from Manchester.
from Manchester.
Is it?
Yeah.
So you're closer to Manchester than you are where I was. Huh. Wow. But he flew all the way out here just for the podcast, so it's weird.
Yeah.
Not really.
Not right now.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, Patrick?
Oh, not much. Just been hanging out with this guy. I was going to say bloke, but
Yeah.
you know, I already kind of gave my cards away by saying that. So
Poser.
This bloke over here. I've been showing him all the amazing burgers we have here in
All the
America.
delights that
Yeah,
we
would you
have
s-
to offer over here.
Yeah.
You said you had like 2 burgers over here.
In one day.
That's more than I do.
2 burgers in
I
one
know. I
day.
only do 1 burger if I ever do a
Got
burger.
real American on that
That's a
day.
lot, yeah.
We did.
Well, when you're here, it's excess, right? So that's what we do
What,
best.
what was your experience at In-N-Out? Was it quite lovely?
Well, it's funny, the In-N-Out thing. When I got there, I heard there's a double-double.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was a bit worried about when they said, yeah, you should get a double-double. And what it was, I thought it was going to be 4 burgers because a double.
Yeah,
You
and then a double.
You think a double's going to be like 2 burgers, then
Well,
it's a double.
I think they were talking about the
I'm
double
like,
patty,
I'm
double
like,
cheese.
Oh shit! I'm no way am I eating 4 burgers, so I'm just gonna get a double. But then I heard it's just the cheese you put in,
Right. It's double meat, double cheese.
so that went well in the end.
Did you shit your brains out? Or?
Maybe I don't remember.
I'm just curious because I don't know. Like,
I don't know. In America, you might keep track of your bowel movements, but in England, we just shit and we just move on.
he got Montezuma's
Once we've
revenge.
done it, you know, we don't dwell on the fact that we shat loads.
No, I normally get a 4x4 when I go to In-N-Out.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
4x4, baby.
So that is 4 burgers.
4 patties, 4 slices of cheese.
That's crazy, dude.
It's
Scooby-Doo
crazy
style.
good.
Don't Scooby-Doo.
Dude, how do you eat that much? Like, I get full on a double and fries.
See, I don't normally touch the fries because, you know, with In-N-Out, if you're going to eat fries from In-N-Out, you got to eat them at the restaurant. You can't take those motherfuckers home. They get cold so fast.
Yeah, and if you guys are looking for a heart attack, this is how you do it.
This is how you do it, guys. I'm showing you the way, lighting the path.
Well, to give you guys an idea what we're going to be doing today, we're actually going to be doing a GravePlots. We got a little bit of a twist this Monday for you that we're going to be adding in some Halloween elements into our story that we have to add during the movie making process. Warble's a little nervous about this, I think, because he's never done something like this.
He has to use his brain.
I've got to think
Yeah, well, no, you'll be all right.
real hard.
You'll be fine.
You'll be great.
You can critique us at the very least at what we're saying, and you can once you get comfortable with it, you'll totally
I'll
understand.
take it on your table. It's all good.
So just keep drinking.
There you go.
Just keep drinking.
Yeah, I gave them some Guinness. We drank some Sambuca. He did a fucking Warble did a fucking Sambuca shot with us, which he was
hates
highly against.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we got a really great GravePlots for you, but I think it might be that time.
Oh, shit. Horror shot!
All right, guys, so we have a special drink for you today. I think we're calling this one Deadite Blood. And the reason why we're calling it Deadite Blood, well, there would be no other reason than the fact that we're watching 2 Evil Dead movies, the original versus the remake in our The Evil Dead v. Evil Dead.
Right.
So we figured what way better to celebrate that for Thursday's episode than to drink a shot dedicated to the fucking demon dead as Deadite Blood. Warble's not a huge horror fan, so it's interesting. We're going to get a whole new perspective on
you
Thursday.
fucked up bringing me on. You really did.
Yeah. No. That's a good thing because there's people that don't normally listen to horror, so to get that actually get an opinion from someone that doesn't like horror or necessarily love it like we do, it's a good thing. So it'll be interesting to see what you think. And I think you guys will be surprised, by the way.
Yeah.
So, but to give you guys an idea how to make this horror shot today of the Deadite Blood, we had to do something a little bit black because Deadites bleed black blood sometimes. So we figured why not use.
Sometimes I like to go a little wild to go red. It all depends.
But typically, right?
Typically black, yeah.
All right, so we figured why not pick Jägermeister, right? So we're gonna do half a shot of Jägermeister. So the next ingredient, there's only 2 ingredients in this.
Very easy for you guys.
Yeah,
tonight.
very simple, but I don't know that many people have done it.
No,
I
don't think there's a lot of people out there who have drinking.
Can I drink piss instead of that?
You know, I do gotta go. I will top it off for you if that's what you would
I'll take
want.
the full thing. If I'm not having that.
Do you mind if I log in whatever you drink?
You want to put a log in it as well? No, just the piss is fine. No
so the second ingredient, which Warble is not too thrilled about, is Sambuca.
He fought us very hard on this, but we wore him down.
And he actually did a shot before
of straight
Sambuca, which he hates.
It's not my fucking carpet, is it? Okay.
All right, guys. So,
bring it in.
And the best way to do this is to say "join us" before we take the shot, because that's what they say.
Join us.
Yeah, join us.
All right, let's bring it in. Hold on, I gotta bring my mic forward.
So for the Evil Dead Bloodite, why do I keep calling it?
Hey, Bloodite's not bad either.
Deadite Blood. Cheers. Join us.
Join us.
Oh God, that's a lot of licorice.
That's horrific.
Oh my God.
I reckon we should go again.
You being serious?
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it.
Let's go again.
Oh, look at you.
One more time around the world. Let's do it.
Wow, dude. That's nipple-rific.
I just sounded like that bitch from Evil Dead. Yeah, when she starts laughing when he starts pulling her out of the cabin. That's great.
Do it again.
Fifth shot.
Just so you guys know, this shit, Sambuca in particular, makes us, like, fuck up our words.
and it gets us super amped. I don't know what they put into it, but like my energy levels go way up.
I think they call it alcohol.
No, it's something else, dude.
I think it might be that anise.
It might be, yeah, maybe it's just sugar.
Sugar.
It's just so much sugar. All right, join us.
Join us.
Join us.
And just so you guys know, all three of us absolutely fucking hate black licorice.
Yeah. Just like most people in the world.
Right. But if you would like to join us and take a shot, all you have to do is go to longlivethevoid.com and check out our hashtag horror shot section to find out how to make this delicious treat. And I'll tell you what, if you actually make this shot and take two like we did with video,
disgusting. Don't do
and
it.
you are of age,
Must be of age.
yeah, and you have to show you making it, not just drinking it.
Yeah.
We'll give you something special.
And you must run out of Jägermeister whilst you
We'll
make
like knit you a little sweater of our pubes.
A little paper doll of our underwear.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right, guys, that's it for horror shots.
The streets all a rage on fire with
It's the fucking news! Here is the fucking news!
All right, guys, so we are going to be jumping into some of the news this week and last week. Some good, some bad, some sad. I think we'll kick it off with some of the sad, but I hope you guys understand that because this is such sad news, we have to actually do a shot.
You know, let's do it. What, we got any Jaeger? We have no Jaeger left.
Nothing apart from Sambuca. Is that it? Is Sambuca?
That's it.
Do we not? We don't have anything on the bar. Out there.
I mean, if you want to get some Malibu out of the fridge.
Get Malibu.
I'll go get the Malibu.
Would you like to get some Malibu out of the
Malibu.
fridge?
Just give me a tick, and I'll be right back.
Patrick's going to get a nip of some Malibu.
Malibu sounds very American. Why are you talking in English accents?
I just think it's funny that he
Malibu
actually
Beach.
is changing his accent to it. That's all it is. It's no problem with the accent. I wish I had an accent like that. I sound more country than anything sometimes. Like when I listen to my voice on this thing, like, and I'm like editing, I'm like, oh, you sound kind of like country boy.
I thought I was blending in. I thought I'm doing all right. People don't even know where I'm from. I'm blending in well.
Oh,
People don't know.
that's cute. I'm scared.
And it turns out like, oh, he's from England.
So it has been reported that Umberto Lenzi has passed away.
Oh,
For
no.
those of you who are extreme horror fans of some of the more underground Italian gore and horror scene, you would probably know him from doing movies such as Sacrifice, Eyeball, Almost Human, and probably more importantly, the bigger ones that I think is Nightmare City,
Nope.
Cannibal Pharaoh,
Nope.
Hell's Gate.
Nope.
But he does so many different movies. He did Spasmo. He
Nope.
did. But you don't like horror,
Nope.
so how would you know?
Nope.
Well, you're going to drink to him.
I'm sure it's amazing.
Umberto Lenzi had a large catalog of movies that he directed. I consider him a maestro of horror, in my opinion, because I think that some of the stuff that he did was really good. Even Black Demons, which was like completely different demons movie, it was still kind of cool.
They were black.
No.
No.
No, it's just black demons. It has nothing to do with the race.
You took it there.
But I like that movie. I think that it's been a little while since I've watched it, to be quite honest with you. Some of my favorite movies are Cannibal Pharaoh and Nightmare City. Nightmare City is actually getting remade by Tom Savini, believe it or not.
Again.
But
Wait for that one.
Umberto Lenzi did pass away, so for those of you who are fans of him, it is a big kind of deal. He is one of the Italian maestros of fucking horror, so we're going to take a shot of Malibu, which kind of seems kind of puss.
We're actually going to take 2 shots of Malibu because it's fucking girly as fuck.
Man, you're just determined to get me fucked tonight, aren't you?
Well, why has he got fucking Malibu in his fucking house anyway?
I'm not the one that
He's got
supplies
fucking
this
demons
house.
and
You
shit
know
on
what?
chairs.
Warble
His
let
house
me-
is fucking full of fucking demons and shit. He's got fucking Malibu in the fridge.
Warble let me in on a secret. He
I'm
let me know
suspicious.
that he was not tired at all. So
This is might go all night, guys.
I'm tired of you fuckers not drinking.
So to Umberto Lenzi, we appreciate everything that you've done for the horror community. And for those who are fans, it's a deep sorrow of a day.
Salute.
Salute.
Said a bit in Malibu, that's disappointing. He's be fucking
It's
Yes,
turning his
drink
fucking
it.
grave of that shit.
I feel like I'm drinking suntan lotion.
Yeah, me too. I got my peepers on
It
right
smells and tastes like suntan lotion.
now. It really does. It's
all right, you know what?
it's like cocoa butter.
I'm sorry,
I
but
can still taste the
I
sambuca in the
can't.
fucking
For
shot
Umberto
glass.
Lenzi, I cannot do just
Are you-
Malibu.
Well, Sambuc, as you guys know, is classically Italian.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to take it. You
Go
don't
ahead.
have to.
So you take it.
Just
Go
to
on,
let you guys
take
know
it.
that Alex is a true fan of Italian
Yeah.
horror.
So he's going to take it.
That
all
is
right
probably
now.
my favorite region of horror. Like,
You ju-
honestly.
You just take
I
it
know.
like a trooper. Go on. You took it like a trooper.
He sucked it back with no problem at all.
You know, we're really sad to hear the news. If you guys are fans, watch some of his movies. Reacquaint yourself with some of the ones that maybe you didn't see. He did a movie called Nightmare Beach, which is actually kind of cool. So if you get a chance to see that, you should definitely check that out. I was thinking about doing another episode where we would talk about some of his movies, but that's the week we're going to be taking a break. So, by the way, just so you know, I used to stream video games, by the way, a lot, and this can segue us into some of the video game news that we're going to be talking about.
Right.
I actually started streaming again for video games, horror video games in particular. I streamed some video game footage of The Evil Within, the first one, because in preparation for part 2. I also streamed some Friday the 13th, the video game, because they have some new DLC that I downloaded and used for that as well. But I am going to be doing some more every Monday between 3 p.m. PST and like midnight. So it'll be like 9 hours of streaming, maybe less, maybe between 5 and 9. But I will be streaming some video games. And if you guys want to check that out, you can go to twitch.tv/Deacon Rain, REIGHN, and you can find me there. But it is what I'm calling the Cult of Rain, just for fun. If you guys are horror fans, tune in on Mondays. I'm probably going to pick up on Saturdays during the day to do some horror stuff. I'm trying to cover every aspect of horror under the Beyond the Void fucking umbrella. So if you like it, there's a link below. You can follow it. Now, in news for
Horror games. And
Yes.
you know that Patrick's on here today, so we're going to talk a little bit about the Switch.
The fuck's that?
Oh, you don't know? So Nintendo has come out with a new platform that they call the Switch. And it's a handheld
What
at-home console.
Wait, Nintendo? I've never heard of this.
You never heard of this? All right.
No.
So Nintendo is a company that started in 1983, right?
Oh, so
We
now,
won't get into that.
No, no,
He's
they-
just giving me
they
shit.
started
so now
lot
you're going to
longer than
wax the cock.
I'm not going to wax the cock. Here we go. So the horror games that are coming out for the Nintendo Switch,
Well, they remade games. They've been made before. haven't
they've been made before, but now they are being ported to the Switch.
Oh, so it's almost like
everybody
they're-
talk shit.
it's
Bring
a-
it.
No, hold on. It's almost like it's new games, but they're not.
I can
They're
play,
just putting it on a different
Yeah.
system.
Well, now you can play it when you're taking a shit.
I can play 10-year-old games now.
Yeah, while you're taking a shit.
That's
Warble,
amazing.
high five, dude.
Amazing.
All right, so these guys are giving me, shit for the Switch. But any of those Nintendo fans out there who still love
Yeah.
playing Nintendo,
Yeah, you can do shit. You can, we did 10 years ago now on Nintendo. So that's amazing.
and portable. So here we go. We got Resident Evil Revelations, and that's going to be February 7th of this year.
that's a day before my birthday.
Yeah, you know what?
You
No one
should be
gives a fuck
excited
about
then.
your birthday.
Okay.
I do.
We all dread your birthday, okay?
Yeah, it's like the coming of Satan.
Yeah. And we got
There's a joke
Resident
there
Evil
somewhere.
Revelations 2
Oh.
coming out November 4th. We also have coming to the Switch. I'm sorry, but I am a big Switch supporter.
Hold on. Before is it a ported game?
Yes.
Yeah, it's another ported game.
Yeah.
Don't knock
Amazing.
twice.
Just so you know, Switch is all about ports. Anyway, continue on.
I fucking hate you guys. Don't Knock Twice is coming out September 5th.
What other
So,
games have you got that came out 10 years ago?
Perception
What else you got?
is also coming out May 30th, which is my birthday.
When was that released?
My birthday.
It's my birthday. Don't you think I want that for my birthday? It's my birthday. So, and we also have Doom.
Never-
The latest Doom game that came out is
Never
coming
played that
to
before.
Switch.
Holy shit, they were able to fucking port it to that fucking, like, old-ass 10-year-old laptop.
I hate these
That's
guys.
weird.
I really hate these guys.
Anyway,
Anyways,
In other news,
let's.
if you guys understand and know what Dead by Daylight is, which is a current game, not 10 or 25 years ago.
I fucking hate you.
Dead by Daylight it is on PS4, Xbox One, as well as PC.
Although no one's playing it because they'd rather play Friday the 13th.
No, but hold on. It'll be coming out to Switch in about 15 years. So
suck a dick. I'm the only one here that still loves Nintendo.
I have no hatred for fucking Nintendo. I'm just saying.
He really does.
If you think about it, like Warble's been pointing out, Dead by Daylight is going to be posting and putting out a new killer, a new themed killer, which is going to be Freddy fucking Krueger, which is badass because you already know they have Michael Myers. You already know that they have Leatherface. Now they have a fucking trio of fucking terror. All right, just so you guys know, we're extremely drunk right now.
Well, these two are.
No, he's drunk. He's just not showing it. He thinks he's like badass, but he's a little tipsy.
Speaking of Freddy Krueger, we also have some word in from Robert Englund himself, who played Freddy Krueger, that he will no longer be playing Freddy Krueger amongst any other fucking Freddy Krueger movies in the future. He's just said that he is just plain too fucking old.
And I say on that, bollocks.
He won't need the mask anymore. Will he? All the fucking liver spots going on.
I know he's already got the old look going on.
He don't need the mask anymore. It's like no makeup.
Better now.
No makeup's needed now. He just
right
straight in there.
The last time that he decked out the fucking Freddy Krueger makeup was in 2014. Apparently, he appeared
that was for the Freddy vs. Jason movie.
No,
right?
he appeared at Chicago's Flashback Weekend and provided fans with a once-in-a-lifetime experience where he was fully decked out in Freddy makeup, allowing diehards to take photos with him as Freddy Krueger for the first time. It was also the last time he would ever do so again. He's not coming back, guys. Let it go. It's not going to happen. I think the closest we'll get to fucking Robert Englund is probably Kevin Bacon at this point.
But from here on out, there should be no Freddy Krueger movies made.
Freddy who?
Freddy Krueger.
Cougar.
That deserves a Hollywood shot.
Krueger. Did you say cougar?
I didn't say cougar.
You did. You said Freddy Krueger.
Hey, he could get some cougars.
No, he is not a fucking middle-aged woman trying to hook up with fucking 18-year-old men.
How old
so Freddy Krueger.
How old is he, this dude? How old is he?
Dude, I'm sorry.
What's his age? Come on.
Oh, he has
Patrick.
to be. He has to at least be
He's
in his
like
60s.
60s.
Yeah.
But there is other news, though, that you guys will fucking love. First of all, this is one that Patrick found. It's from the New York Post, and the tagline of the fucking article, which pissed me off, because you guys see this shit out there all the time, and it's like, can horror movies save Hollywood? It's like,
right.
go fuck yourself, first of all.
They can't.
The gist of the story is this. Happy Death Day has done more its opening weekend than
Blade Runner 2042, right?
Yeah. What the fuck?
I
And it's
know,
not
it's
2042 either.
What is it, 2049?
2049.
Sorry, I was a couple years off, guys.
Yeah. So it has done more money the first opening weekend than Blade Runner. So that's how you know you're getting old, guys.
Horror started to make a resurgence. That's the way I see it.
In mainstream.
Yeah.
Yeah. In mainstream. But through what? Remakes and sequels? Is that really like something to like jerk yourself off over?
Need to ask
Not
Nintendo
really.
about that, don't we? Let's ask Nintendo.
Are we going to swipe left or right on this?
Do that.
Yeah. Up, down, left, right, jerk yourself
Wait,
off.
select start.
Yeah. Select start after you jerk yourself off.
You're right.
Anyway, I could just let you know, for all you old, crotchety old men, this is the dawn of a new Aquarius right now.
It's like we're reliving the 80s right now.
Yeah, in a
Where
way.
the 80s, where horror was at its peak.
Right, but even in the 80s, people who were classic horror fans were like, oh, this is over the top. Evil Dead is over the top. Too much. You guys have distaste. And now we're dealing with, like, you know, people who were, like, saying that it is not even a horror movie, the remake.
Are you serious?
They're saying that it is a thriller.
See, this is why I don't read reviews.
Some of our friends from the fucking Buzzkill podcast posted an article about how some people were saying that it is a coming-of-age thriller.
I was about to get a whole bunch of irate.
But the
right
new
there.
It film did cleanse me from the first one. The first one fucked me up when I was little.
Did it really?
It did.
Happy Deathday beat Blade Runner in the box office open. But reportedly, there is a top secret horror project being shopped around to premium cable networks that is so hush-hush, quote-unquote. All we know is that it's reportedly scary, stars Casey Affleck, will be written and directed by Alfonso Cuarón, and executive produced by two main creatives. It's being represented by anonymous content, which is kind of ironic given the details we currently have. On the real, though, Cuarón definitely took his time finding up a follow-up project to the ambitious and divisive Gravity movie, which took place in space with Sandra Bullock, right?
Right.
There has been a lot of cheeky fucking comments online about it, you know.
Was it cheeky?
Because Casey Affleck has been known to beat women, apparently. And some of them are...
Sometimes you just need to check them a little bit to get them back in
on
their place.
Reddit, I saw someone that was like, oh, so this is going to be about a movie where this guy sneaks around and starts fucking beating and raping women? Is that what it is? And I was like, oh, damn, dude. Like, damn, that's...
You went there.
That's savage.
Right.
That is quote-unquote savage. Anyway, so that is it for the news. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into our GravePlots segment. If you're not familiar with this segment and you're new to the podcast, basically what we do is we make up an entire movie in about 30 to 45 minutes max off the top of our heads by pulling a name out of a hat. And today we have a little something special, as this is sort of our Halloween episode before Halloween starts. So just hang on tight and we'll get into our GravePlots right now. All right, guys, so we're back. We're going to do our GravePlots today. So, as I mentioned, what we do is we make up horror movie titles, and we put them in a fucking golden skull with diamond eyes.
It's a goblet.
Yeah, it's a goblet that has cost over $8 billion. And we basically pull a name of this made-up movie title out of that fucking goblet. But today, we're adding a new element. So what we would normally do is pull the name out. We'd talk about the movie. Whoever made up the movie wouldn't be able to speak first. It would be the other people who are involved in the podcast, and then make a whole entire movie out of it. But if we didn't like it, we could change it. The spin that we're going to take on this is that since it's Halloween, we added a bunch of Halloween themes to another crystal skull with golden eyes. It's a smaller one.
Yeah. That is grand.
Yeah, we put on all these different tropes from Halloween in there, and we're going to pick 3 of those to add them to this story that we're going to pick from the movie title.
I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm pretty fucked right now.
Yeah, Patrick's ridiculously drunk.
I am pretty drunk.
Since this is your first time, Warble,
We'll let you draw.
yeah, you're gonna pick the movie title.
There we go.
All right. So Warble's picked it out, and we're going to be talking about this as the movie title.
What do we got there, Warble?
Oh, it's one of mine.
What is it?
Hell's Rage.
Hell's Rage. So what do you think Hell's Rage is about?
I would have to assume that it has to be something about maybe the devils or the demons. Sorry, not devils.
You
but
can't
demons.
say anything, Warble. You have to remain
Demons
quiet.
trying to break into our realm.
Okay, I like that.
What about his rage?
How do they get into this realm?
Maybe through weak people
Okay.
who have
You can't handle the
maybe
alcohol, maybe.
can't handle their alcohol or masturbate too much.
So it's called
Which I fall into all these categories.
All right, first of all, before we get too far into it, so we kind of have a premise. He hasn't said what it was his choice of the name, Hell's Rage.
Right.
So I'm going to pick one, you pick one,
All right. Bring that cup here, boy. Let me see.
and then he's going to pick one of what Halloween topics that we're going to choose. So, what's yours?
Bobbing for apples.
So we have to add bobbing for apples in the story.
Another one of mine.
I have smashing pumpkins.
Yeah.
So somebody or something has to smash pumpkins in the story. Bobbing for apples and what?
Bloody... What the fuck is that?
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary.
See, that gives us a plot point. I think that's good. So perhaps... Okay, hold on. So I got it. I think I have an idea here. So
it.
perhaps these kids on Halloween night decide to call on Bloody Mary, but end up opening a portal to hell.
Oh, yeah.
And it's Hell's Rage. It's not necessarily Bloody Mary, but they're doing Bloody Mary. And at the party that they're at, maybe it's a party. Before they get to the party, they smash some pumpkins, and they also bob for apples at the party. Somehow. I'm just spitballing here.
It's a
Right.
chain of events.
Well, that takes care of those two real quick.
Yeah, but we have to add it in there a little bit more significant.
Right.
So it's not just like, oh yeah, they smashed pumpkins, we're done. So there's a party going on.
Right.
A bunch of teenage kids. It's Halloween night, All Hallows Eve, or All Hallows Even, depending how old you are.
Or Devil's Night.
Devil's Night. We're calling this Hell's Rage.
Right.
So these kids are at a party. They decide to call Bloody Mary in a mirror. There's like, I don't know, what, 10 of them?
That seems like a good round
Maybe they
number.
break off from the party that there's like 100 people and there's like 10 of them that go in this room. Girls, guys, whatever. Guys that are trying to hook up with other guys. Girls that are trying to hook up with other girls. Guys that are trying to hook up with girls. Girls trying to hook up with guys. Whatever.
We hit the whole gambit right there,
Yeah,
guys.
we got a little combination of everything. And
Yeah.
maybe there's one guy that's like only into animals.
Right. Yeah. It's a big fucking like party mix.
Yeah.
Of nuts.
I mean,
that you-
animals seems more realistic.
yeah. I'll go with that. Why not?
Okay, so now you can jump in, Warble. Now that we've got a premise, if you want to pitch your idea and tell us what you think.
Well, first off, I need to know what a Bloody Mary is.
A Bloody Mary,
Call
okay.
You don't know what Bloody Mary is?
Well, it's a
So it
drink.
must be in a-
a Bloody Mary is a drink, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, well, it is.
Vodka and carrot juice, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, well, V8.
yes. But here's what Bloody Mary is.
You get paid for this. Is this fucking what? Not advertising.
No.
In America, what we do, and maybe you don't know this over there, but there is a character known as Bloody Mary, and you go into a mirror and you shout her name over.
Typically in a bathroom.
What?
Is it normally every time I
Just
see
in a
Bloody Mary-
mirror is what I remember.
Well, yeah, okay.
Anyway, you shout her name. You ever seen Candyman?
So I think Pat spent too much time shouting into mirrors.
Maybe just a little
In
bit.
bathroom mirrors.
Just like,
apparently.
Doing bathroom mirrors by yourself.
But seriously, you shout her name, you say her name, I think it's 3 times in the mirror while you stare into it, and she's supposed to appear over your shoulder as this bloody figure that will kill
A
you.
reach around. We're talking. Here.
Maybe.
maybe.
But that's the story, technically. So technically maybe they're summoning a demon through a mirror in some other way, and they're at a party and they unleash hell's rage, so to speak, on the party. Does that make sense?
All right, we got this.
So if you want to change the story up, you can. Does that seem reasonable to you? We just kind of run with it from here.
Yeah. So where does the bobbing apples come into play? Where's this?
We can figure that out. Maybe at some point one of the demons fits through and they think it's a costume and they make someone bob for apples and they drown them.
Maybe the apples are the demons and they're putting demons out with their teeth. Like the apples are like, like, what do you call it? Possessed.
Eyeballs or some shit?
The apples are possessed and they're putting the apples out with their teeth.
Okay, sure.
And
They're like some sort of tainted apples.
Yes, exactly that.
Like the water boils and it boils the apples into some sort of fucking
So they
blood
do-
sac.
Or like when they
they-
stick their
no.
face in, it like boils their face.
I got this. They do the Bloody Mary thing first. Bloody Mary does stuff to the apples, and then they bob the apples, and then they pull
and it's
them
blood
out.
sacs.
And-
I feel like blood should come into their mouths.
Yeah, when they bite into the apples, there's
bloody.
a weird sort of tinny taste. It's a bit. What's that?
Tinny.
Did you say titty or
Yeah.
tinny?
Tinny,
Okay, yeah, so
Okay.
like blood.
like aluminium.
What do you call it? Aluminum?
Aluminum.
Aluminium.
That's so much more
Look how it's
prestigious.
fucking spelled.
Isn't that what the Thor's hammer is made out of?
Moving along.
Okay.
Anyway, okay, so because they call this Bloody Mary, do the kids, like, who are in this party, for whatever reason, do some of them die in that room and some of them escape to try to, like, spread the word? Do all of them die? Do none of them die? Like, you know what I mean? Bloody Mary appears behind them, but it's really not Bloody Mary, it's just a demon because they did some sort of ritual.
I think they should all die so they can't even give warning to the rest of the party.
I think one should escape at least.
Maybe just one, so they just think he's crazy.
Maybe one or a couple.
But dismembered. He escapes, but he's heavily dismembered.
Well, then that just gives it away. Like,
yeah,
oh,
that
well,
like
he's
just
missing
slams
an arm.
it into the full spectrum of the fucking movie. You kind of want to like bleed it in, you know what I mean? A little bit. Like they don't find out right away kind of thing. Maybe someone like thinks that she's drunk and one of the girls escapes and she's trying to tell everybody that this shit has just happened in the room and no one believes her because it's Halloween and they think she's just trying to prank everyone.
Well, she's drunk.
Right, exactly. Like any kind of stereotypical.
Yep, let's run with that.
All right. So all these people die in the room. How do they die? Do they just explode? Wouldn't it be cool if like Bloody Mary appears and she touches people and they just pop?
I really like that idea, actually. Just
Yeah, like, and everybody's like, what the fuck? And then she starts touching other people as they run.
right,
And they pop. And the whole room's like covered in blood.
like confetti almost, but
It's
made
like
of blood,
pop, pop, pop.
like zits.
Yeah. It's kind of cool, actually. I don't know.
No, I like it.
But technically, she's just the embodiment of whatever they focus their energy on, which is Bloody Mary.
Right, a woman.
But it's technically just Hell's Rage that's like dipping through this hole in existence somehow. And she's almost like Carrie, right? Like,
Right,
walking
totally.
around. Does she walk around or does it change? Or is it one thing or is it several things?
Is
It's
she
like,
possessing someone, or is she just...
I think
the
she should
entity
just
that's
pop
appeared?
people if she touches them. But maybe she changes into something else based on the situation she's in.
Because there's going to be a lot of horny teenagers that wanting some action, so if she could get in on that.
You got to get that in there somehow.
and then they're going to be getting touched.
Yeah, because
somehow.
they're fucking, and if they fuck, they gotta die.
Yeah, let's do that.
That's the horror rules.
If you fuck the demon, you're going to fucking die. How about that? Let's do that.
You want somebody to fuck the demon? Well, wouldn't she pop him?
Maybe it'd be like a scene from like, what was that anime movie? Was it where the girl's little snatch turns into like a spider?
What?
Wicked City.
That's not a spider. Her vagina doesn't turn into a spider. She literally turns into a spider.
Right.
It's a massive
But her vagina is attached to a spider body. So it's technically a spider vagina.
Or, yeah, but not a spider vagina.
I've never seen a spider's vagina.
Have you not? It's a thing to behold, my friend.
Okay, Google.
Oh, my.
I'll look at that later.
Well, we know you're not an iPhone user.
I'll look at that later.
So let's get this under wraps here, okay? So we need to add bobbing for apples and smashing pumpkins. But we already talked about the bobbing for apples. So this is a party going on and things start happening in different rooms maybe. And like people don't really take it seriously at first because they just think it's part of a prank or something.
Well, maybe the smashing pumpkin things can come and play. Maybe there's a guy who's just dressed as the Headless Horseman.
Okay.
And he had like a pumpkin head, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, he was a jack-o'-lantern.
Right, because he didn't have a head.
Right.
So maybe
That's what the story's based off of. They were trying to scare off evil spirits.
Right.
Smashing Pumpkins is new to me as well.
Is it?
It's a band, isn't it? That's a band. I know a band.
No, what technically happens on Halloween, I guess in America, because we're a bunch of hooligans, I don't know. Bad kids would take people's pumpkins that they carved out and made like jack-o'-lanterns out of
and just smash 'em.
And just smash them. That's all it is. You don't have that happen over there?
We're civilized in England. We're fucking around people's houses and
We
fucking
drink
wreck
tea.
shit.
We don't argue.
Yeah.
We don't drop bombs. We don't.
You knock on the door, take a few sweets, and fucking leave. And fucking smash your shit up.
But it's interesting. It's interesting that you didn't know what that was. So it's kind of cool. Like
Well, it sounds quite obvious. Fucking
No,
smashing pumpkins, but
I have
there's
no
something
idea.
more to it. Just little cunts, fucking
Yeah, that's
smashing
pretty
you.
much what it
hooligans,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying it's interesting. Like it really is. Like anyway, so we have like somewhere in the party because they boil the apples, they turn into some sort of blood sacs, and those blood sacs turn people into fucking demons, right? We talked about that, right?
Yeah,
That's-
right.
Yeah, the ones that because they summon Bloody Mary.
Right.
Then they think nothing happened. They move on, carry on the party, start bobbing from apples, and then it all kicks off when they suck on them.
So
juicy, sweet,
maybe
baby
it changes like while somebody's going in to bite an apple and like it turns into a blood sac and someone bites into it and it's like black blood and then that person like acts kind of weird, and they're like, hey, you got it, didn't you? And they're like, yeah, I don't feel well, and they walk off, they go to the bathroom, and then 2 other people do it before shit starts to hit the fan kind of thing.
Maybe like profusely like vomiting.
Yeah, maybe she goes into the bathroom and there's a dude drunk in the tub. The girl goes into the bathroom. She sees some drunk dude in there with another girl. Maybe they're like making out and they passed out because they're so drunk. It's like one of those parties.
Right.
And this girl starts puking up black blood, like all over them, all over the walls, all over the mirror. And she starts getting sores all over her mouth and face. Like suddenly, like almost like she's getting blistered up with these black sores. You know what I mean? Like something that's like pretty tragic, pretty quick. But simultaneously, there's 2 other people that went in after her to bite the apples. One does something else, another does something else. Like we want to make this a big point because this is one of the 3 things, right?
Right. Maybe one like just vomits like black blood from their eyeballs or something like that.
Maybe one of them gets sick and shits himself black.
This black poop everywhere. Just
yeah, and everybody's laughing at first, but then it turns into something really tragic.
like, what do they call that when you're on like vacation and you drink the water and then you get the shit?
Montezuma's Revenge. That's what
There
I was
we
talking
go.
about
Yeah,
earlier.
Yeah.
How about the poop turns into something quite tragic?
Oh, that's pretty ridiculous.
Like shit
How about
monsters,
that?
like shit
A
demons.
shit monster.
Maybe it's just like a worm.
Has a shit monster ever
Maybe
been
it's
done
just
before?
like a worm or several
Yes.
worms.
You ever seen Weird Science?
A shit monster? No.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember shit monster, though.
You hit the brother Chet turns into it like a shit beast.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, but this will be a bit more horrific.
It was pretty horrific.
Well, what if it's just like they shit out worms of some sort, and those worms like crawl across the ground and start attacking other people, so it causes like a chain of events.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be like, maybe it's just worms, and like one of the guys is passed out on the couch, it crawls in his mouth.
Like the worm in the
Ooh.
apple. There's a worm in the apple.
Does it leave
That
like
they-
a little
they-
brown trail?
They've ingested
Yeah,
the
maybe
worm.
it leaves a little slug trail,
Yeah.
and like there's a dude like passed out on the couch that's been there for a while, and you see him through the whole night, and all of a sudden he like towards the end he turns into this
Right.
like demon because he's passed out drunk. I think it would be kind of interesting, like this is how it spreads like wildfire kind of thing. I think that's kind of interesting.
Is someone writing this down?
We don't need to write down. We're
We're
recording.
documenting it right now.
Live.
Live in effect.
Somebody write this down who's listening.
Stamp it.
Stamp it.
This is copyright, bitch. But yeah, no, so like one of the guys, so we have one girl that's puking on the people in the bathtub. She's also puking in the bathroom, and she's puking in the toilet, and maybe worms crawl out of that.
Is that infectious puke?
Yeah, it's like
she's
worms.
she's infecting
She's
people
like
with her
puking
puke.
black stuff, but inside of that black stuff is worms.
It's a worm.
So those crawl out, kill the people in the bathtub. They get infected. The other guy is like out back trying to shit around the shed or some weird spot outside because he's embarrassed. And then those worms crawl out and start infecting
It needs to be
people.
like explosive diarrhea though. Like he just shat all over like the side
on the
of their
side
house.
of, yeah, and everybody's laughing, but then they start getting infected. Right. You know what I mean? Like it's not a laughing matter at this point.
Right. Like what the fuck are those things coming out of his shit coming
Right.
out of?
Like it's just jovial fun like antics from kids.
yeah.
But technically they're all getting turned into demons.
Double barrel blast.
Right. And this is Hell's Rage, right? So who's the third person that eats the apple? Where do they go? Maybe they go to their house. Like they go home because they're not feeling well.
I think they should just spew shit from their eyes.
I feel like she should leave the party only because then it would spread it further so that the whole world's affected by the end of the movie kind of thing.
Yeah. All right, but what I'm saying is like maybe it comes out a different orifice for her, like her eyes, her
Right, yeah, maybe
fingernails.
she cries and it starts pouring out tears.
Worm tears.
worm tears.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, like something different. I don't care.
yeah.
Our nipples.
That maybe her parents come in and she's crying and the worms and the leeches like grab onto her parents, and then her parents, like there's this side story where the parents go to the neighbor's house to ask for mayonnaise at like 3 a.m. for no reason, you know,
We're
like
making BLTs. Do you
Yeah.
have any mayonnaise?
like something weird, something like obligatory, like what the fuck? Like maybe it's like, hey, do you guys have any like horseradish?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like something weird.
We got a little pot roast.
and then they just like spit worms into their face, and then like, you know what I mean? And then it cuts.
Yeah.
Like that'd be kind of fun, right?
No, it'd definitely be out of the
Like
left
I don't
field.
want it to be this to be about worms, but these worms are technically like
evil.
evil. They're like little sperm. They're like evil demon sperm.
Take that.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like, I'm
yeah.
not trying to make this silly. Like, it can be one of those, like, neutral kind of movies.
Neutral sperm.
Where it's like, it's silly, but it's also serious.
Yeah.
Because a lot of crazy shit happens. We haven't killed anybody. We just infected people so far. And we still have to have people smashing pumpkins.
Well, like I said, I wanted there to be a guy at the party who was dressed like the Headless Horseman that maybe his head gets smashed, which is a jack-o'-lantern.
What if the girl that escaped, that went to her family's house and then infected them, that went to the neighbors? What if some other random kid just shows up and he's like smashing pumpkins and her parents come out and squirt worms all over his face, like through their mouth or something?
What's he smashing?
Like they're yelling at him,
with?
and mid-yell,
Yeah.
it's like it just automatically starts
Yeah.
pouring out of their mouth.
And instead of just infecting him, they smash his head like you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That makes it a little more interesting.
No, totally. Instead of just being right on the nose.
Right. He's smashing pumpkins. They grab him. They spit worms at him, but then smash his head on the ground. How do
And
they?
then his head's like...
But how do
this-
they smash his head? We got to be a little more
Got
specific.
to have a pumpkin head on. Then they're smashing pumpkins.
Maybe he's got one of those Halloween masks from the Halloween 3 movie.
The pumpkin head.
Yeah, the pumpkin face. There's like the witch, the skeleton, and then the pumpkin head.
I'm thinking if they smashed his head, it should be like a curb stomp kind of thing.
That'd be kind of fun. Like maybe he runs to get away, and then he falls over. So like his head's towards the street, his feet are towards the house,
Right.
and then they just like stomp on his head.
Yeah.
Maybe they spit worms on him first, so he gets infected. So then when they stomp on his head, all these worms pour out.
Right.
That'd be fun, right?
That's exactly where I was going to go with it. Like,
Okay.
worms have to, like, shoot out of his brain.
Great. So he's the first death, technically.
Yeah.
So, okay, so what happens to the girl that's in the bathroom with the two other people?
The one that's puked all over them.
Yeah, the one that they're all infected now. Maybe did they fight each other? Are they tearing each other's skin apart? Are they doing something interesting?
That would be cool. Like, they rip each other's limbs off. And
Yeah, they're like
beat each other
screaming.
to-
Maybe they start yelling at each other in ways that they don't understand.
Right.
And it's not as like obvious.
It's like the Tower of Babel.
Yeah,
where,
and then
like-
they start smashing one of their heads on the sink and all these worms pour out.
Yeah. I want them to, like, actually tear each other limbs off and then beat each other with each other's limbs.
Right. Okay, stab one of them in the chest with it.
Yeah.
They get a limb out of their chest.
Like a bone shard and just like, rah!
Right, and then worms pour out of the hole.
Yeah.
No,
And
they
this-
should team up. They should team up and just go take the rest of the party out. They're having way too much fun. They need dealing
Well,
with.
maybe, but this is
Well,
contained
maybe
into
it
the
happens
bathroom.
within the fight. Like, they're fighting and they're like, all right, you're too strong for me.
Maybe some dude in the middle of all this happening while they're fighting opens the door and sees it all happening. And it's kind of silly in a way, so that like he's like drinking a beer and he's ready to go piss, and he just shuts the door after he opens it, and
like,
then,
looks for a couple of seconds and then shuts the door.
yeah, and then he like starts to run and he trips, and then the worm crawls up his leg and he gets away.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like you don't know what's happened to him, and he'll show up later, kind of thing.
Right. Like, he's like the alien that was hiding in the landing. Fucking.
Yeah, he's just some random.
Right.
Like, at this point, we don't really have any characters, though. We just have the three people who have been affected. The one that escaped, Mary, right?
Right.
Wait, so we got the girl in the bathroom, we got the guy who went out and shit behind the shed,
Girl went home.
and then the girl that went
Infected mom
home.
and
So which
dad.
one of those is the one that escaped Mary? And we need to come up with names for these three because they seem to be pivotal. And maybe there's like another couple that are having like an adventure somewhere else in the party that need to be the pivotal characters, like the actual characters.
Right.
So it like shifts to them at some point. Like it feels like it needs to.
Oh, for sure.
So
Yeah.
Susie's in the bath. Susie in the bathroom. Puked
Okay.
everyone. There you
Susie's in the bathroom. Who's
go.
the guy that goes
There's-
out to the
there's
shed?
three of us. We'll all take a pick. There you go.
Let's go with, we'll call him Travis.
So Susie in the bathroom, Travis out the shed who shits out the fucking worms, and then the one that went home is Michelle.
Michelle.
Susie, Travis, and Michelle. Or Michonne. Let's call her Michonne.
Are we going a little
I think-
Walking Dead with
oh.
this?
Just a little bit of different name. That's all.
Walking Dead starts this Sunday, guys.
Susie, Travis, and Michonne.
Someone's getting sued.
Someone's getting sued.
So Susie, Travis, and Michonne are kind of cognizant while this is all happening. So maybe it's like they realize that this is happening to them, so they're not completely possessed, you know what I mean? And that way they can kind of have a conversation with people so that they're still stars of the show. But there has to be a couple or two people who were best friends or two people that shouldn't have been at the party that need to like know
Maybe
about
they-
all this.
Maybe they show up late.
Yeah.
Brother and sister of someone who's been infected.
Right. Maybe. Okay.
That's the
Okay.
deal,
Well,
isn't it?
maybe it's just brother and sister that show up to the party that aren't even infected.
Maybe it could be like one of those things where they're like freshmen and they weren't invited to the senior party.
They sneak in,
Right.
and she goes with him because the brother doesn't want to go alone.
Yeah.
So they go together because she wants to see this hot guy that she likes in high school, and then he goes because he's just awkward, right?
Right.
And he wants to be cool, so he goes to this party. But then by the time they get there, everybody's like infected and fucked up except for like a couple of people. And so like all this weird shit is happening, and they're just kind of like people are like roaming around. Some people are puking.
Well, maybe they show up and there's like some metal song playing, and they think they're just thrashing around, but really they're like dying in agony.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Maybe like a dude's head explodes because he got too many fucking worms in his head.
Right.
And it just pops and like it sprays on the wall, and they're like, ew, what the fuck?
It's a good costume, man.
So who are the brother and the sister?
Let's call them Linda and Ashley.
Which one's the guy?
Ashley, of course.
Okay. So Ash, we'll call him Ash.
Yeah.
All right, because that'll be confusing otherwise.
Ripping
Just in the
shit
vein
straight
of
out
Evil
of it.
Dead. Yeah.
Since we're doing Evil Dead next
Right.
Thursday. Okay, so we got Lindsay and Ash, who are brother and sister. Ash is obviously the guy. Lindsay is the girl. We've got Susie, Travis, and Michonne. Michonne went home to her parents, got infected. Her parents curb stomped some kid on the that was smashing pumpkins outside of their house.
Are the parents infected?
Yeah, the parents are infected. They
that's
stomp
good,
on
yeah.
this kid's
Yeah, they
head
did that.
after they infect him for a while.
So how are we going to play off them not getting infected as fast as their parents or other people?
It's some of them get affected differently. Maybe they get
Maybe it
affected
could be
quicker.
like the blood sugar content, like depending on how much sugar
right.
they have.
Maybe
and
they ate candy
Right.
that night because it's Halloween.
Right.
Okay.
Candy boosts it. It's like a booster.
Yeah. Like
well,
if
no,
you- I think he's right. I think he's right.
it boosts it.
It boosts it. Like if you've eaten a lot of candy that night, then it infects you faster.
Okay. Yeah.
So maybe her parents were like munching down on fucking candy and
While they were handing it
and
out.
they were ignoring the doorbell when people rang it. They're one of those families, you know
Right.
what I mean? So this is like their like just desserts.
Yeah, they're pissed right off.
Right.
There you go.
Like it feels like that makes sense. Like they're eating the kids' candy and they're like,
They're like, fuck you guys.
yeah, and they leave like Nutri-Bars outside. And kids are like, what the fuck is this? And that's why the kid smashes the pumpkins, maybe.
Yeah, because they're like, what the fuck is this shit?
Right. So Michonne's family. And so then you don't really hear about them after that, but you know that it's out there. But somehow we kind of forget about it, and the story progresses closer to the party, and it's starting to branch out. Maybe this couple, or not couple, the brother and the sister, what do we call them? Lindsay and what?
Ash.
Susie. What, Susie? No.
No, it was Lindsay and Ash.
Yeah.
Susie was the girl that was in the bathroom
In the
with the two
bathroom.
other couple that was passed out in the bathtub. Okay.
They're still fighting, right?
Right. So Lindsay and Ash need to be the heroes somehow, right?
Right. Well, if we're going to do
So
two...
when do they get the reveal? What is the reveal moment where they realize that they're at a party that people are fucked up? They think everybody's drunk, but they're not. And then something happens, some pivotal moment that makes them go, okay, shit's not right.
They go see Susie and go from there.
Susie in the bathroom?
Yeah. They realise something weird's going on when they see Susie. There's something going on in the bathroom when they walk in and go, oh shit, it's going on.
There's like black shit everywhere. And they see, what do their eyes look like? I feel like their eyes should be turning a different color.
Always the eyes, isn't it?
Maybe like red from all the blood.
Maybe orange.
Orange, red, don't matter to me.
Red's a little too demonic.
No, just worms, just seeping from the eyes.
So it looks like it's black, but it's really just
ma-
waves of worms.
Just maggots. Just
Maybe the worms are
piling up.
orange.
Yeah.
It's different, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's been done.
Oh, well...
Maybe they're orange, and then when they go, someone's like, they got a fucking bowl of fucking candy corn, and somebody reaches in and like eats a bunch of the fucking worms at some point in the party. So I think that, obviously the worms are the demon's semen. Demon semen? Is that
Demon
what we're doing?
semen.
well, it's the Bloody Mary, isn't it, that summoned them?
Well, she's not really Bloody Mary, right? We decided
She's just a
that.
demon who came through, right?
So maybe people are seeing things that they would see based on what they think, and so sort of they see what they want kind of thing. I feel like these worms should like get into like a big creature at some point and start wreaking havoc on the neighborhood kind of thing.
I feel like we've done this story before, though.
Really? What?
Halo did this story before with the
flood.
With the hunters.
Oh yeah, because they're just a big compile
made of worms.
Of worms, yeah.
So yeah, they formed some kind of big, monster.
I was gonna say what reminds me of what you're talking about is the GravePlots that we did with the GravePlot podcast.
I don't remember.
The
Whatever.
ploppies. The ploppies.
Well, maybe after a certain amount of people are infected, they lose their souls. So then the ground opens up and a fucking huge demon comes out.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like some sort of fucking crazy ass shit we've never seen.
But formed from all the worms as well. The worms.
Well, maybe the worms crawl around it and it shoots it out of its hands or something. It doesn't have to be made of worms, so we can be a little bit more original.
Right. Well, maybe he can call forth all the worms that are infecting these people and amalgamate them into like this giant form,
like creatures and shit.
Right.
Suck the people into the monster as well.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
There you go. So okay. So we know kind of how it ends. I kind of want to end it on a bad note. So like the demon comes and starts smashing houses and it just starts setting fire to everything or something like that. And that's how the movie ends.
I think it should end like still at the house that's having the party. And then maybe like a trick-or-treater comes to the door and like the demon opens it,
Well, maybe Lindsay and her brother, Ash, like give up in a way. They're like, well, there's not much we can do at this point. So they light a cigarette and just the fucking creature is about to stomp on him. And that's how the movie ends.
They're like, fuck it.
So it's like everything's fucked. Like there's nothing that's going to save this situation kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I kind of like it where they go out with like a cool little lighting a cigarette kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Like,
accidentally kill the beast by lighting a cigarette somehow.
That's too easy.
Just
I would rather the
just by
evil
fluke.
just plague the earth.
Right. Yeah, like you leave it open.
Yeah.
It's open-ended, so it doesn't really have an end other than the fact that these kids we can get to the point where they're trying to fight against it, but then they just give up. Do you know what I mean?
It sounds like they never really got started fighting the monster.
We haven't built that story part up. So if we get to the point where maybe they find a way to kill the worms, but they can't kill the big monster, the big demon that comes out of the ground.
So they kill a few worms. Say, oh, we're killing the worms. It's all good. And then they just form one huge monster in front of them. Oh, shit. What are we gonna do now?
Maybe
Just
they
smoke a
start
cigarette.
spitting sambuca on things and it starts killing them.
Like somehow like the grain alcohol.
Some sort of alcohol. It doesn't have to be sambuca, but I'm just saying maybe one of them spits it out and it starts to melt the worms. So then they go to the store, they go to the grocery store to try to find a bunch of this to kill off the worms, but it's already too late. All these souls have been taken. So the demon comes out of the ground and they spit it on it and it just stomps on him kind of thing.
Super Soaker's full of sambuca.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, that's not bad. Like
That's
it could
almost
be
like
Give
a
'em a
zombie
fighting
ate my
chance.
parents kind of
Give 'em a
vibe.
fighting chance.
It's a
Super
fun
Soakers.
movie. It's a silly movie a little
Right.
bit. It's a teen movie, but it's kind of got like a goosebumpy feel, but with like a little bit more blood and gore.
Pavav.
What?
Pavav.
Pavav?
Pavav.
Hold on, we need to take a break and just slap Patrick.
No, we're almost done. Let's get this done. So, okay, so maybe Ash is drinking something and he spits it out because he sees something happen and it melts the things. And then Lindsay sees that she was like, what were you just drinking? And he's
Right.
like, oh, I was drinking this. So maybe it's like a jungle juice vat of jungle juice or some dumb shit.
Or it could be like Jaeger.
I think it should be some weird combination where they're very limited
Oh, on the supply of
on
it.
the supply of it.
Okay.
They don't know why. They don't know what the ingredient is because it's just some jungle juice. You know what I mean?
Right.
He drinks it. He sees these things, crazy things happen. He spits it out. It melts the worms. And then she points it out. And so then they go around somehow super soakers, like you said, spraying all this shit to try to melt all the fucking people and all the worms. But it's already too late. The demon comes out of the ground. And then she's like, hey, do you got a cigarette? And he's like, yeah, I think this guy has one. He pulls it out of his half body.
Like his little rip pocket.
Yeah, like this guy's like in half. And he's like, pulls it out. And then the guy grabs his arm kind of thing. And he's like, ah!
Half body
And
guy.
he kicks it in the head. And then he pulls the cigarette out and he lights it for her. And then the demon's coming running down the street kind of thing.
I want to say that they light the cigarette off like the hellfire that's coming through the ground that the demon busted out of.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, what if the big demon can shoot fire out of its mouth? catches one of the people on fire and they light the cigarette off his burning body.
Yeah, that's what I was. Something that's like, yeah.
No, what it is what you need. You need something to fight the worms, don't you? So you're gonna have
Super
in
soakers.
one of these cups. There's something in the cups. They're not sure what it is, but it could be spunk. So what they need to do is like. So how
jerking off on everybody.
So how do we kill these demons?
Wait,
like, well,
what?
What was in that cup right there? So they're like, right, everyone, go load up the cups. Super soakers, sambucas.
But they're the only ones alive.
Because then it's worms. Well, sort of worms, tadpoles fighting
Tadpoles
worms.
versus worms.
Yeah,
Demon
tadpoles
semen
versus worms.
Demons.
And,
Well, they're not demons. It would be this regular semen.
I don't know. The spunk idea is a little bit stretched. I like the jungle juice only because it's like a limited supply. The spunk is a little too limited. It might be a little too over the top.
Yeah,
But
I'd
a
hate to see
little will
someone
go a long
jerking
way,
off.
won't it? A little does go a long way, pretty much.
Well, maybe they get a cup and they think it's one thing and they're wrong, and then they realize it's just jungle juice, but they never had any or something. I don't know.
The fuck's jungle juice?
You never had jungle juice.
Okay, so jungle juice is grain alcohol. Do you have grain alcohol out there? It is
Vodka?
No,
Vodka?
no,
No.
not at all. Grain alcohol is technically like moonshine out here. What we used to make in the Prohibition
What about
times,
potatoes and shit?
potatoes, wheat, corn, anything that you can think of, they would ferment and like cook in these huge kettles
Pretty much vodka.
to pull any kind of alcohol out, but it's way more than potatoes. It's like way stronger. Like it's an extremely like the highest dose of alcohol. But grain alcohol, you pour this alcohol in, which is like if you take a shot, it's like 2 or 3, like 3 or 4 shots.
Evaporates or hits your tongue.
Exactly. That stuff. They pour that in a vat of like all kinds of juice. They mix it together with like maybe like mango, blueberry, like vodka, tequila. They mix it all into this whole thing, like just this big vat, and they call it jungle juice. That's what we call it out here.
Well, first you gotta soak the fruit. There's fruit, cut up fruit.
You don't have to do fruit. It's not everybody does fruit.
Every time I've ever had jungle juice, it's always
They're
had fruit.
trying to kill demons with it. They don't care what it fucking tastes like.
But it's just funny because like it's this weird combination out of the blue that just happens to work against these demons.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So they fill up their super soakers after the guy spits it on the fucking sluggy orange fucking demon semen. I realize that this is ridiculous, guys, but you got to understand we're making this up off of the spot, okay?
And we're all kind of tipsy.
and we're fucking drunk.
Well, everybody except for Warble, because Warble's straight as an arrow right now.
Yeah. Well, no, he's not. He's still drinking. But anyway, do you like the idea that a demon comes out of the ground?
Yeah, I wanted to see some fucking huge
And
fucking.
formed out. He's not formed out of the worms.
He's formed out
of the
of-
worms and the humans he's pulled into him.
100 people have to be possessed before this demon comes out of the ground.
There you go.
So 100 people are at this party and elsewhere.
It's a big fucking beast.
Right.
So you see all these people like maybe coming towards this hellfire and start like amalgamating into this form and shit. That's this demon.
Yeah, and then like Lindsay and fucking Ash, he's like, well, we're fucked. She's like, yeah, looks like. He's like, you got a cigarette? She goes over to the dude that's in half or burning on fire.
Maybe like the top
And
half of his
the top
jacket.
half of his burning. His face is burning. His chest is burning. She reaches in his pocket and she sees, oh, yeah, got some luckies or whatever.
Some lucky
Yeah,
strikes.
she pulls out one of the cigarettes is kind of bent a little bit, so they both are lighting their cigarette, and like she lights it off the dude's face that's on fire. You know what I mean? And then she sticks it to his, like she monkey fucks it, is I guess what they call it, right?
A lot of people don't know what that is anymore. But
Monkey fucking is
He's
when
just told you.
yeah,
He's just told-
it's when
he's-
you light somebody else's cigarette off the front of it. It's also considered like sexual, but we're not going to use that for this situation.
Sticking tips together.
Right. Yeah, it's very sexually charged. But anyway, also is lighting somebody else's cigarette in Europe.
Right.
So anyway, so he lights her cigarette. They kind of like, she was like, man, maybe we should have skipped the party. You know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, oh well.
And then how do they die?
And then maybe he runs over and just like you don't see it, but you just see it smashed.
Stomps.
And then there's in the credits you just see like news reports of like shit happening and like different cities getting destroyed.
well, maybe it's like you ever seen those bay windows where it's like 3 windows in the front of a house where it's like a maybe they're looking out the window and seeing this demon come towards them as they're lighting the cigarette. It just rips the whole house off, and that's where it cuts
Right.
to the news reports.
Well, I figure they're outside just because the guy got burned.
Well, maybe he throws the house out of the way. You know what I mean? And they're in the backyard.
Or maybe he throws another house on a house.
Give him a fighting chance.
There we go.
Give him a go. Give him a fighting chance.
He takes a motherfucker and throws it at another motherfucker.
And that motherfucker becomes 2 motherfuckers. And then 3 motherfuckers.
I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I'm just trying to end it in a somewhat kind of interesting, fun way.
Right. No, I like it.
I like that nothing is happy in the end.
Right.
I reckon there's a chance they got away. What's that film with it? Well, Neeson gets caught with the wolves, and at the end he's like got glass all in his knuckles, and it's like that at the end.
Well, and maybe in that we could divulge that in part 2.
Right. Where you
But
just
for
kinda
part
see the
1,
cutaway
it
scene.
seems like they die.
Like you see the demon's fist coming down, and it's like, cut.
Right. Are you okay with this, Warble?
Yeah, let's run with it.
All right, so now we have to come up with a tagline. So sort of like what they try to like pimp the fucking movie with. Like, I don't know.
Maybe
like,
they're few, we're many.
No.
I'm just throwing shit out there. I'm just
Well,
trying to get the ball rolling.
It's based off a fucking party, a kid's party. So it's got to be a little bit more fun than that.
I was being kind of cryptic. It doesn't, like I'm saying, I'm just trying to get the ball rolling. I knew you weren't going to take the first one I threw out there.
I'm just saying it'll click when it clicks.
Well,
Right.
But whoever comes
Tagline
up with
for
it.
what?
So, like, when they have a movie, like, they'll be like, horns, he'll teach you what to do. And, like, whatever the movie, like, is about. Like, here, hold on. I'll give you an example. So, for example, like, we're going to be doing Evil Dead, the remake, right? So, their tagline, the most terrifying film you will ever experience.
Which
is pretty lame.
The
That's
first
the
one.
second one. That's for the remake.
That's for the remake.
Okay, so...
It's a poor example. He'll find another one.
We saw that a long time ago. Nintendo did that shit, didn't they?
Yeah, they tried to make it over the
They
top.
ported that shit.
But although
It's
Evil
usually
Dead
some
tried to do that
cheesy
too.
thing. That like the Evil Dead, the original says they get up on the wrong side of the grave. Do you see what I'm saying? So we gotta like come up with like this party was made to end or something stupid. Do you understand what I'm saying?
These apples weren't worth bobbing for.
Yeah.
These apples are sour.
Yeah. No. I like what he says. Something more like that.
No one likes what I say.
I like your sour apples.
You like them?
Bobbing for blood sex has never been more demonic. Like stupid shit like that. That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't have to be perfect. It's got to be cheesy.
Careful what you bob for.
Ah.
There you go.
Oh, all right. I'm down with that.
Yeah, I'm down with that too.
Careful with what
A little
you
bit of
bob
golf
for.
clap. Golf clap.
All right, so Hell's
go,
Rage.
okay.
You guys just heard Hell's Rage, which was Warble's choice for a name, and the tagline
It is
of
also
is,
Warble's.
Careful what you bob for.
I'm completely lost and no idea what fucking happened just there. You any idea what happened just there?
I do.
Really? You know.
I've done this enough that I get
You
the
know what
flow of
happened
it.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're lying.
welcome.
No, you did. Here, give me a slap. That
good
was a
job,
good job,
man. You did a good job, dude. You took on to it like really quick. Well, guys, if you haven't already and you're still trying to figure it out, we're sorry. But if you know and you follow along with what we said and pieced together for this Hell's Rage movie, you can check out the fucking cover of the movie that I made here for you. I did a full VHS cover as well as just the cover of the fucking episode, which is like half of the fucking cover. But yeah, if you like this, did you like what we did with it? Did we go too silly with it? Sometimes these things happen, like sometimes they go serious, sometimes they go funny. We just never know.
Can someone steal that idea we just had?
No,
Where
because
you
we
from?
copyright it on our show. We have
Don't steal our fucking shit, you bastards.
we have a date stamp of everything that we do.
There we go. If you do make money, I'll have a 10%.
Yeah,
There you go.
If
You'll have more than 10%.
If you want to make this movie, we'll be more than glad to negotiate with you
It
for
was my title.
a small fee.
It was your title and your tagline.
It doesn't mean it's your
tagline.
movie though, because we made up all together.
It's mostly me.
Well, maybe they changed the name.
I got a golf clap.
This is Alex from the editing room, by the way. I want to make a quick note to to you guys. For some of our Reddit followers that we have, sometimes you guys like to conversate with us in the subreddit of our horror. We have been banned for 7 days from there. I don't know why. I guess because I posted a blog. This is the first time I've ever had an issue there. Normally someone writes me and tells me if I did something wrong, and then I go, oh, my bad, I'll fix it. They didn't give me that courtesy this time. So if you guys would like to go and respond to us, you can follow us and respond to us on like Facebook or Twitter, or if you want, you can go to the Do You Love Horror group. So if you guys want to post there. Also, there is another subreddit called Scary Movies. That's a really awesome community. They actually are very cool, very laid back, and just enjoy horror. So thanks, and I hope you understand. Anyway, guys, what did you think of this story? If you haven't already known, we're going to be doing the Evil Dead the Evil Dead v. Evil Dead.
So the Evil Dead versus Evil Dead.
Yeah, just Evil Dead, no the Evil Dead. So it's the Evil Dead v. Evil Dead. And we'll be doing that this Thursday. We're going to be talking about and breaking down the original Evil Dead and the reboot called Evil Dead. So
Breaking it down like a raw chicken.
Right. So hang around for that this weekend. Thank you so much for coming on today, Warble and Patrick. See you guys on Thursday.
Have a good week. Bye.
Listening to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. Tune in this Thursday for part 2 of The Evil Dead v. Evil Dead.